Hello and welcome back to Stone Cottage Studios. Today I'm joined by the SAM RAE Trio for an artist session. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Definitely.
Pleasure.
Yeah. One of my first questions that I love to ask is, how has music impacted your guys' lives, and how does it give you the joy, in your lives progressing forward?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a
An
great
expansive question.
Yeah.
For me, I went to school for cello performance,
Amazing.
and it was very, obviously classical is a whole nother realm.
Yeah.
But I graduated and went the opposite direction, started doing improvisational cello looping
Wow.
in Boulder, actually. That was the first place I was actually performing for like 5 years.
Beautiful.
So I just did cello looping live for like a long time.
Amazing.
But the discomfort of that was, I'm always kind of drawn to the discomfort of some kind of improvisational aspect.
Do you feel like that discomfort like kind of unlocks like your creativity in a type of way? Like it kind of brings a different energy to it?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, whenever I go back to the looping stuff, there's always this ease that I feel. It's really like, it's just fun to give people a song that's never going to be heard again. It's just like a cool way to approach performing. But
That is really cool.
I guess, yeah, and to answer your question, music is just like, I mean, I've tried to not do it. It's not really an option. Like the pandemic, I was like, I'm going to quit. And then I was like, oh, I can't do that.
Can't do that.
No, so it's I mean, it's just probably part of who we all are. I don't think many of us could do without it. So
That's amazing. How did the trio come together? How did you guys find yourselves here?
Well, I met Joel in Charleston, and his wife Shelby. They're part of Sally and George and Lover's Leap, and his wife is now with Molly Tuttle playing bass.
Amazing. Yeah, we
really
had Lover's
cool.
Leap into the studio before as well. It was so
yeah. So it was really great to meet them out in Charleston, and just kind of during the pandemic, especially when we were like, what's going on? I feel crazy. Me and Shelby got together and wrote a few songs on my back porch, and it was something that kind of kept us moving and like feeling the hope a little bit, through times where we couldn't play music at all. We were like floundering. So.
Definitely. Well, that's what I found. I found such solace and inspiration through music, through all these like kind of COVID troublesome hard times. But it's this, I don't know, like innate human hope that like we're all just striving to create and share our words and our experiences. And I think it's so powerful, and it's such a good way for people to connect.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
So starting off classical cello, I saw now that you're standing with your cello. When did you first figure that out? I've never seen that before.
Actually, well, first I saw the cellist in Avett Brothers. And I think he uses a really long end pin.
Okay.
Joe
Kwan.
Yeah, Joe Kwan. And then I saw Rashad on Instagram.
Wait, Rashad Eggleston?
Yeah.
Bro,
I was like, what? This is crazy. Because he's like running around. And I was like, I want to be able to move while I loop. Although when I do sit, there's another layer I can tap into because I can get the right pressure and everything is there. When I'm standing, it's a little more haphazard, but it's better.
Yeah.
It feels better.
That's so funny you brought up Rashad. I remember seeing him. He did a like a presentation at my high school, and he was like hanging upside down by his toes, like playing the kazoo. It was sweet. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's
super rad.
Cool. Inspiring to see what a lot of cellists are doing now. Zoe Keating was the initial person to get me to start looping. I saw her performance in Iowa City, where I'm from, and then I immediately went and bought a looper the next day.
Yeah.
And then I tucked it in the corner of my attic apartment for like 6 months. And then my friend called me up, was like, can you play while I'm speaking at this radio show?
Yeah.
He's a poet.
Sweet.
So I played behind him, and he's like, just do one of your songs. And instead of playing Bach, I was like, oh, I'm going to do a loop. And I didn't know what I was doing, and I was like, pushing the pedals, like had no idea. I didn't even know what a quarter inch was,
Those are the most liberating moments, though, like that's when you feel so vulnerable
is that
and like
massive
so human.
discomfort.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then I sat down, and it just kind of like, landed in this pocket, and the audience, we were just like having this experience, and then they stood up at the end and I was like, what just happened?
That's amazing. That's so cool when you can like almost transcend and kind of enter the flow, you know, of it. It's so rad.
That's cool.
So do you guys as a trio have any music out together? Are you working on putting music out?
Well, we just came from Laramie. We were at Thundercloud Sound Studios. It was a lovely experience. And we, I don't know how many songs that was, about 8 or so. 8. And so we brushed through those in the last couple of days.
Amazing.
We just finished up maybe 2 days ago. And so, yeah, just like that.
Oh, that's so exciting. Do you have like a working title or a name or anything that you want to?
I'm thinking about Children of Love, but
I like that.
I've already been working on my album covers because I get like really into my covers and I make like 200 versions.
You make the album covers?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, sometimes. Yeah, I made my first 2, but Terry is actually on my last album, 10,000 Years.
Very cool.
I met Terry in Santa Cruz, California. I think we've been playing together since about 2017 or 18.
Beautiful.
You know, time just is amorphous, so.
Yeah. True.
So we met up with her in Austin for this tour and played a show that night. And they had never met.
Okay.
It's like, let's do this.
And then it all just flowed together and it's good. Beautiful. Yeah. Joel, last time I saw you, it was with Lover's Leap in here, and I think it was the like summer concert series that we had
out there on the lawn, and we had a hailstorm that came in between sound check and when the show started.
I remember that. That was crazy.
I took shelter in the van, and the river turned, the street turned into a river, and I couldn't believe that none of the concert goers fled. They just hunkered down.
I remember there were people with tarps
outerwear, you know, and like
just
like we're just gonna bivvy, and then we'll see some bluegrass, you know. Like, you just gotta love Colorado audiences.
Yeah, that's so classic. I love that, and that's just the love of music, you know. It's so good. Yeah, and it was beautiful because after that storm, like the sun came out, and it was this beautiful experience.
It really was.
Oh wow, I'm so happy we got to share that. Trying to think of any other questions. What are some of your guys' biggest inspirations in music? I don't know, for each of you, it's probably different, but...
It's funny that we mentioned Rashad earlier. Yeah. That he continues to inspire me. He's a friend, and I mean, not specifically with the music that he creates, but just his freedom as an artist and his constant challenging himself and challenging the audience, and his like willingness to dwell in that place of tension and discomfort in order for the art to push forward, you know. Yeah,
Rashad is such a unique individual. I mean, he goes so deep to even write his own languages, you know, and he was showing me his journals with just like pages of his own. Yeah, so cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Also love like Tony Rice, you know. So
definitely.
That's like such a hard question. Every time someone asks me that, I always forget all the people besides the main ones for me, which is like Joni Mitchell, Zoe Keating.
Amazing.
But I know there's more. I know like Bon Iver influences my atmospheric stuff. And then My Brightest Diamond influences like the way I compose my loops, because they write these like epic songs. I don't know if you've ever heard her, but
I haven't heard her, no.
Her music partner writes all of the arrangements and then she sings. It's just like this amazing duo. But
that's beautiful.
I mean, I grew up around like Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. You know, my mom was always playing music in the house. Yeah. So, like, I'd wake up at 8 and my mom would already have like a record on, or you know, just a lot of people, I'm sure, have experienced that kind of influence from a young age. But it gets into your psyche, and then, you know, I used to just listen to Case of You and Both Sides Now on repeat. But her old album with the orchestra, full orchestra. Not her newer one, or
the Blue album.
Not the Blue, but the one where she performs it. I think, I'm not sure what year it is, but she's much older. She does it with a full symphony orchestra, and it's like, it's just amazing. So that's kind of what I latched onto, Joni-wise, which is a little different from, you know. Yeah. When I talk to people about Joni Mitchell, they're like, oh yeah, her Blue album, which I love. Sure. But I guess I'm just an orchestra nerd at heart. So I just want to listen to Joni with full symphony orchestra.
I never thought I'd heard you say that.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. It's cool that you said Bon Iver with his like atmospheric. I feel like I'm a fan of his music as well, and he's so good at creating. It's almost like a 4D space or like 3D. You know, it's like happening that way. It's really cool.
The textures that he creates, and even his vocals that you can't even discern. You're like, what are you saying? But it's so cool.
I feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know. I got into singing, doing backup vocals. Kind of jumped into a couple of lead situations back in Santa Cruz and then just was like, I just want to do harmonies.
Yeah.
And so, when I kind of step back and think about it, I grew up in Texas, suburb of Dallas, but I remember these hot summers and raising the window and just sitting on the edge of the bed with the, that who knows what kind of insects were going off at the time. And this little tape recorder, those boxes with the handles and the tape? Well, maybe you don't, but like I do. Push and play on that Blondie and just, singing along to The Tide is High. And I didn't realize that that I had even had, musical inspiration in like a harmony kind of way as a kid, because I started so late in life after doing like photography and like theater and like dancing, you know what I mean? I landed into this music thing. I think my mom and dad had a pretty similar vinyl collection to your mom.
Okay.
And probably your folks too over there, Joel.
Yeah, we had a lot of like Bob Dylan and I'm trying to think of the really corny folk group that I used to love when I was a kid. The Kingston Trio.
Yeah. The Kingston Trio.
Yeah,
sweet.
Lots of that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I love the way you described that. I could like picture the image in that moment. It's so surreal for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a trip because I didn't even realize I was interested in music or singing at the time. So I kind of had to trace back.
Yeah, it's interesting how you can reflect on those moments and like how imperative like that was to like, now and not even
jumped on
realizing
that sooner.
It all adds to the greater story.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel that way as well. We're living in Renaissance times where it's like we can dabble in a little bit of everything, pull inspiration from a whole bunch of different arts.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You were asking about musical inspiration. That's kind of mine, is that I get somehow just, being with, Sam's, tour album or whatever, somehow there's like a little bit of dipping into all the pots, whether it's like, how would you describe that for me? Can I pass the buck?
Well, I think, when I first toured with Derek, I was like 2 days in advance, I was like, you want to go on tour?
Oh, yeah, like 32 hours.
But the improvisational aspect, I definitely pull it, not just in music, but just like, we were in the studio the other day and, I don't know, just like kind of throw in curveballs.
Yeah.
I don't know if people enjoy curveballs, but I do.
For sure. Well, sometimes that's how like the best things can be created, is like in that flow and that intuition, and kind of just releasing it from like trying to be so tight and have everything all figured out all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I do like lean in that direction sometimes, I like to kind of like dial it in.
Yeah.
So being with Sam is a nice balance. Because Sam likes to live on the edge, But I love the other elements of music touring. Just the artistic pieces that come out, the visual, the writing, the all the little parts of the whole picture.
I love it. I love art and I love music, and I'm so excited to listen to you guys play today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, thank you, and thank you to everyone who's watching right now. We really appreciate you, and if you want to support local artists and local musicians, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Instagram, and just sharing this with people so we can get the word out. But thank you guys so much for being here, and this is gonna be a good one.
Hey Vinny, on Folly Beach, half your shirt's cut off 'cause you got shingles and couldn't leave. You're with your friend Jimmy and you said make sure when you grow up to get your vaccine. By the way, don't quit this crazy scene, 'cause you got it, girl. Oh, Vinny, Your eyes are shining like a paradise, the kind you bet on, or palm trees, yeah, whichever you like. Hey, Vinny, there's a little storm brewing in the center of your eye. Hey, Vinny, here is your song. You're a good few inches shorter than me. You almost look like a skinny little bird landing haphazardly. Your accent is thick as a New York Sunday Times. Do you enjoy a good pasta and wine? What really got me was your shining gaze. You said I sounded just like Jules. I figured you meant Jewel. Oh, and by the way, that just so happened to be my first cassette tape back in school. Hey, Vinny, your eyes are shining like a paradise, the kind you bet on, or palm trees, yeah, whichever you like. Hey, Vinny, there's a little storm brewing in the center of your eye. Hey, Vinny, here is your song. Colors of bright orange and blue, and a little sage floating all around you. When I took your little hand, I said I would write a song about you. So hey, Vinny, here is your underwhelming song, with a heart of gold that looks like it was sewn by a maker of God, taker of the days as they pass by, little saucers in the sky. Hey, Vinny, I see you there. Oh, Vinny, your eyes are shining like a paradise, the kind you bet on, or palm trees, whichever you like. Hey, Vinny, there's a little storm brewing in the center of your eye. Hey, Vinny, here is your song. You made me feel like I had made it to the front of the line. Oh yeah, I'll be sure to wave next time I see you from the stage, 'cause it's all fine. Hey, Vinny, I hope that you and Jimmy made it home all right. Hey, Vinny, you're a falling sunrise. Hey, Vinny, you're a falling sunrise. Hey, Vinny, sun in your eyes. Hey, Vinny, here is your song. I set my hand upon your face, and I was lost in a lonely place. So we found a little place to meet. Said if there was one more mistake, we'd both be leaving. Woohoo! Woohoo! When I am lost inside your kiss, it all comes back that we may never quit. So as it turns out, the road is long. There is no white horse to save us from ourselves, yet there is a way now to handle loving you and learning to stay. So is love the truest thing? Or is it just my heart inside the ring? Throwing knuckles around the room like I've got nothing better to do. I a child yet. I am a child yet. I am a child of love. I am a child yet. I am a child yet. I am a child of love. So the devil sits on my shoulder, says, come on baby, just kick it over. Pile of rocks in the road that night. Fuck it baby, it's our 4-leaf clover. I am a child yet. I am a child yet. I am a child of love. I am a child yet. I am a child yet. I am a child of love. I am a child yet. I am a child yet. I am a child of love. I am a child, I am a child, I am a child of love. I am a child, I am a child, I am a child of love. I am a child, I am a child. I am a child of love. I woke up and I felt some pain in my body, no ache, no gain. It's amazing what we can face in the name of a wasteland. Hey, 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 hey. Left the front door open again. I walked out and I stepped right in to a place that I call home. It's when the wasteland clears, there's everywhere to go. Hey, 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 hey. Walk down the street again, thinking of all the places I've been. It's nothing new to find that with time brings a heavy mind. That empty field is free and the air is passing through me. It's the thought of when the wasteland clears, it's got me moving with the hands of time. Hey, 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 hey. I spilled my coffee again. I made a mess all over my friend. We cleaned up the stain and then set out again for our promised land. I drove like crazy again, turned so fast around the bend. I lost the road ahead in my sense of connection. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. When the wasteland clears, there'll be a new message at a table for three. My mind will join my body and my spirit again. The message will be so clear that everything always changes here. Put it in an ancient cave that when the wasteland clears, there's yet to come. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Like a wolf out of water, I am chasing the sundown, the horizon never ends. Immobile, like a wolf out of water, I am chasing the sundown, the horizon never ends. Immobile, like I will never fade the warmth and colors of who I am. The truth you try to take, it's in the center of my head. No combination of words can break me, no fallen nation can take me there. Oh, and if you start a fire, it spreads around you. There's really only one to name. Like a wolf out of water, I am chasing the sundown, the horizon never ends. Immortal bay, like a wolf out of water, I am chasing the sundown, the horizon never ends. Immortal bay, like a wolf.
Stories will be delicacy, allowing either hip, the light or the dark. This is how our stories will be delicacy, allowing either hip, the light or the dark. This is is how our stories will be told. This 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 is how our stories will be told.